Life is like a Rubik's Cube. Have you ever looked at yourself, a loved one, or the world at large and wondered how all this came to be? The mysterious Rubik's Cube offers a fascinating analogy to understanding existence and finding peace in life. Curious? I know, but check this out. Today, while walking our rescue dog, my husband raised the analogy of the Rubik's Cube. The Rubik's Cube in its original form is one large cube made of smaller cubes, all lined up perfectly with the color squares of each smaller cube matching the side of the larger cube they are on. Someone who didn't know the purpose of the game may receive a Rubik's Cube and set it down in a prominent place to look at its perfect symmetry and beautiful colors. Since the cube arrives whole and completely matched, there is nothing to do to fix it, change it, make it better, or improve upon it to this unknowing onlooker. Yet one day that onlooker decides to pick the cube up and investigate it further. During that investigation, their hand slips, a row on the cube turns, and suddenly the colors no longer appear to line up perfectly. Red is mixed with green, and the colors on the other sides no longer match either. At this point, it is easy to put it back together again. Simply turn it back the way it came by moving one single row. Yet the onlooker decides to take it a step further and mixes the green with yellow because this cube is now kind of fascinating. And so it continues until all the colors are mixed and the onlooker no longer remembers how to put it back together. Now you see, the cube is still the same as it was when it was first removed from the box. It has all the same materials and colors, just in a different pattern. The cube is the same, yet to the onlooker it appears different. The pattern of the colors does not change the cube itself. It is still whole and complete. Only a belief by the onlooker leads the cube to appear to no longer be complete and perfect. To one onlooker, it may be beautiful, and to another, it may appear to be completely messed up. Yet, despite these two perspectives, it is still the same cube. Let's say the onlooker decides to try to put it back the way they found it. I don't know if you have ever played with a Rubik's Cube, but once the color cubes are mixed, it can take a lot of turns to put it back together so the colors once again match. The interesting thing is that sometimes the cube is manipulated in such a way that the colors begin matching, yet not completely. Then the journey may be to mess the colors up again in order to restore them. It can seem like taking 20 steps back into chaos before moving forward into order. Frankly, it can appear to be a messy process. The cube can be compared to our lives. When investigating life, existence, and discovering peace, there seems to be two paths humans take. The first is the long path, where we try to return to the perfection we are by fixing everything that appears to be wrong with us, others, and the world, turning all the squares on the cube until the colors line up again. In that process, we encounter seeming obstacles where we mess everything up before regaining a sense of order. We continue playing with the colors until eventually they line up again in our perception and we feel complete. The only problem with this path is that our tendency to get curious and play with the colors on the cube again is deeply ingrained, and soon we mix the smaller color cubes again until they no longer match. It comes with being human. The other path humans take typically happens after you have watched yourself play with the cube over and over and over again until it finally dawns on you that you are already whole and complete. There is absolutely nothing to fix or change. You are perfection itself in a unique display of colors. There is no need to do anything but live your life in this awakened realization where you see yourself in all the amazing colors and patterns that show up to the rest of the world. We are all just color cubes within cubes, dancing with life. And you, the onlooker, can observe and interact in that dance as peacefully as you choose. Play with a cube or simply revel in its perfection. It matters not. The only problem that arises is when you suffer because you do not see the cube as perfect and whole. Be the open, curious onlooker who recognizes the great gift they have received with all its colors, shapes, and forms. Life is a great gift, and you have an opportunity to enjoy every moment. Don't suffer because you believe the cube needs to be a certain way. Embrace each cube exactly as it is, recognizing that it is simply a cube within a larger cube, and watch the colorful play of life as you rest in the loving arms of peace. In loving service, Heather Indu Arena.